Oh, cool. All right, we're live.
Yes, we are.
Let's go. I'm going to hit play on the thing. Hello, and welcome to Tim and Joel Call It in the Ring, back at almost our usual time at 8 o'clock on Thursdays. Oh, no madness this week, Joel. No madness this week.
I mean, Tim, every week is a little bit of madness, a little bit of mad dash, and a little bit of last minute news, isn't it?
Yeah, every single. Well, what do we got for last minute news this week?
Oh, there's tons of it. All right. So let's start with the Ridge Holland injury update. Yes, unfortunately, Ridge Holland went down with injury last night during NXT on USA. Basically, the way it ran down was Ridge Holland was in a match against Danny Burch. Orny Lorcan came in after the match to had a brawl. Orny Lorcan went to dive out, and as Holland went to catch him, his knee and his leg buckled under him. It looked really bad. It was noticeable. The refs jumped on Orny Lorcan. I will never pronounce the name right. And he was, as Lorcan was kind of beating up on Holland, the refs realized something was wrong and they pushed him off. So that kind of signified that something was going on. Well, we found out today, about a couple hours ago, according to WWE's NXT injury report, that Holland suffered a, quote, left ankle dislocation and fracture and a right knee patellar dislocation and patellar tendon rupture. So the knee was put back into place while at ringside. The ankle was reset in the hospital. And as far as we know, he had surgery today.
What's that?
That, yeah.
Wow. Okay, so that explains why he dropped like a sack of potatoes.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's
I wouldn't be surprised if he was. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he was supposed to catch him. Maybe there was some sort of spot from there, but it looked bad. It was bad. Unfortunately, as Holland is slated to have a major role on NXT programming with the Who Shot Adam Cole gimmick and that angle, it sucks. It really does. It sucks for him. He's going to be out for quite a long time, unfortunately. But he's tough. He's going to come back. Yeah, there's not much else to say. My feeling is they'll jump to the the angle a little bit quicker. They'll jump to who took out Adam Cole a little bit quicker than planned. I have an idea of who it could be. Some people are tossing around names. I don't know if you have one, but maybe you want to share one if you got one.
No, I mean, I don't have a whole lot of ideas. The quickest way I think they could get out of this is Bridge just found him in the back like that, came out and dumped him out as a servant.
Maybe not so easy considering Ridge showed up in a Mercedes and said something like,
oh yeah.
I didn't have it last week, but thanks to Adam Cole, I have one now. Honestly, I think Holland took out Adam Cole for the brand. That's what I think.
Okay.
Alex Thomas in the chat says the Fly took out Adam Cole. If you're watching the vice presidential debates, the Fly took out everybody. All right. Speaking of taking out, there's about an hour ago some really interesting news coming out of Fightful and Sean Ross Sapp. Candy Cartwright, we've talked about her on the show. Samantha Taver, Tavel. I will get her name right. Samantha Tavel. I called her Taver last time, and I got an earful. Candy Cartwright is how I will acknowledge her. Candy Cartwright is suing Matt Riddle, WWE, Evolve Wrestling, and Gabe Sapolsky, who was known as the head of Evolve Wrestling and is now working for NXT and WWE. She's suing all four of them for $10 million each. It's a major lawsuit. Cartwright is seeking actual damages from emotional distress, punitive damages, attorney, and legal fees. First of all, it's a very, very uncomfortable story. It does have to deal with sexual assault involving Matt Riddle and Cartwright. I'm not going to delve too deep into it. I have more notes on it. You can go to Fightful.com and read all about what's going on and what the allegations are like. I'll put it like this. Florida wrestling has had a seedy underbelly, and there is a lot going on that we're not going to hear about until it goes to court. If it goes to court, for all we know, all four are going to settle out of court. Money will go out. That will be it. But the allegations go all the way back to 2017. And unfortunately, it might open up a few cans of worms along the way. Riddle's still performing on SmackDown Live. No, I don't know.
That's it. I don't know. Go over to that settling. Yeah, I can see that settling out of court.
Yeah. There's enough on both sides that this can get messy. But I'll put it like this. The people who are representing Candy Cartwright, they have won over $100 million in settlements and victories in court. So she's coming with legitimate people. She's coming with legitimate lawyers and a legitimate case. We're gonna have to see where that leads, but for now, again, we're not gonna go too far into it because it's a very uncomfortable story, and we are the wrong people to talk about it. But we wanted to draw people's attention to it, to read up on it. You can find more on Fightful.com. Again, a shout out to Sean Ross Sapp, who has excellent reporting, him and his team. So go ahead, check it out. But you know what else? We're learning every day. You know who else was learning earlier this week? Paige was learning. Tim, do you know what she was learning about?
I think I saw something.
Paige on Twitter sent out a tweet. This was, I guess, on Monday or Tuesday. Quote, learned a lot about unionism today. Yeah.
Society doesn't.
Is Delina Vega, who blocks me on Twitter, but I can still, see things sometimes. Uh, still don't know why.
Yeah.
She replied with thinking emoji.
Ooh.
There's a lot of slacktivism going on in wrestling, I get, and really all over the world. A lot of people with big talk over tweets. Are they posturing? Are they planning ahead? Do you think that maybe Paige has a plan to fight WWE on Twitch?
I don't know. It would be interesting. I think it's long overdue. If you were to take all the people who make it to TV who aren't getting paid or treated fairly, knowing that the people at the very tippy top are probably going to be hard to sway, it's enough to shut down their programming. So,
Yeah.
get on it, wrestlers. You deserve it.
And what you guys can do right now, if you're listening live, you can retweet the link. You can follow us on twitch.tv/Tim and Joel Pod. We are still on YouTube and we are still at timandjoelpod.com. And you can leave a thumbs up. You can subscribe. You can do as you please, but we want to get you into your ears, your friends' ears. We want to be in there and we want to be there for you. How's that?
All the ears.
All
We'll be
the
there
ears.
for you like trade unions are for tradies.
That's right. You know what? In wrestling, it's a trust business.
Yeah,
And
sure.
the trust is maybe being broken with wrestlers right now. And this whole Twitch thing. So
That's what
think,
happens when all the money comes around.
yeah. And now the money is going to be a big, big question, especially with downside guarantees being part of it. We've talked about it a lot. And we'll leave it at this. Paige has been off TV since Backstage was canceled. And she decided to stay away from wrestling when the pandemic started. This has been her income. I mean, who knows how else she's making money? She's not an active wrestler. She's, for all intents and purposes, medically retired. But she has options and she should be doing more. She could be doing more.
Yeah, I mean, she'd need some support from people. Like, she has a bigger stake in this because at this point probably come areas. It'll be tough to kind of rally the troops. I hope they come to their senses.
Yeah, that's the hope. And then you have people like AJ Styles saying it's a very tricky situation and
It's
that a lot of
not.
us
It's
won't
'cause
understand.
That's
Well,
just because
let's
AJ Styles has a certain
We'll
attitude about the world.
we'll let AJ toe the line. How's that?
Yeah.
Speaking of towing the line, someone who's not doing that recently is EC3. EC3 is apparently going to show up at Ring of Honor, which that's a big deal. So on Monday, EC3 tweeted out a promotional spot for his next appearance at Ring of Honor. Something totally different, out of this world for EC3. He's a character wrestler, and he's going to Ring of Honor where they don't normally have character wrestlers. I know, Tim, you've been watching the Pure tournament,
Yeah.
and I think you've seen it. The characters are not a Ring of Honor staple.
No, it's just matches. It's like what I see when I rock up to
Yeah,
maybe even less character than local shows.
The only real characters out there are Dalton Castle. He's the big flamboyant one, and everyone else is just kind of playing this ass-kicking version of themselves. It's pretty impressive. But Scott D'Amore, who is the Impact VP, he said he's all for it. He told Inside the Ropes that he wants EC3 to explore the landscape of pro wrestling post WWE, and that they're all on the same page. That he can go anywhere he wants. He can be at Impact. He can be at ROH. The agreement's set, so it's going to be exciting to see what EC3 brings to ROH.
See, that's a vote of trust. That is
It is, and it's nice to see Impact trying to play nice with anyone else in North America
Yeah, and I bet you
because
that vote of trust is also entrenched in a written contract between them. They don't
exactly.
amend the contract later on or use
Yeah.
weasel words to kind of get what they want.
Well, WWE is about to get what they want because they have elected Erica Nardini to their board of directors. Now, Erica Nardini comes from Barstool Sports and she became CEO in 2016. You know what Barstool Sports are really, really well known for? They are known for their 18 to 35, 39 male demographic. You know what WWE is sorely lacking right now? The male 18 to 39 male demographic. So Nardini brought that demo to that brand. And you can say what you want about Barstool. It is had a ton
I
of negative press. It's a
I have no idea what it is.
it's
Despite being in that demo.
so Barstool is a sports oriented website. It started off in Boston. The guy out there who leads it is his name is David Portnoy. Um, Unfortunately, with Barstool, the problem has been they have hit because of Portnoy, they've been hit with sexual harassment claims, claims of racism, anti-Semitism, cyberbullying, bullying. It's been all over the news, and Portnoy has kind of said, "Yeah, so what?" So Nardini
This
came in and had to
this
clean it up.
immediately doesn't look respectful.
Yeah, but the thing is, and there's also allegations of them stealing other people's media, like other people's videos and stuff, and posting it to theirs and not compensating them. That's another side of Barstool.
Yeah.
Nardini, on the other hand, she is she's a brand launcher. So 35 brands were launched under Nardini. She broke out brands in sports, in entertainment, in female lifestyle, in business, and in sports betting, which is now it's huge, especially now as pandemic is starting to um, you know, become less of a problem in the States, even though it's very much still a problem. Sports are happening. And she also spearheaded over 1,500 social accounts, a top Sirius XM channel, and flavored vodka. Because Tim, you like flavored vodka?
I-
Well,
No, 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 no.
Stephanie
We're not
McMahon and her
introducing that into my brand. I do not care for flavored vodka. It's fine. I have no why would I go for flavored vodka when I can just flavor regular vodka however the hell I want, sir?
okay, but I'm just saying, if Pink Whitney Vodka wants to sponsor this show,
Pink Whitney? Yeah, I'll drink whatever. Give me.
I'll drink it.
I'll drink
Okay,
it. I'll say I love it.
Ms.
It'll
Nardini,
be
if you are watching, we
it'll
will
be the
drink that
first
whiskey.
vodka that I will endorse that is flavored. I'll be like, "Wow, I didn't like flavored vodka until Pink Whitney."
That's right. So Nardini is actually the third woman to serve on the WWE board of directors behind Stephanie McMahon, of course, the creator of women's wrestling, and Laureen Ong, who is a TV executive for all intents and purposes. She's formerly from Travel Channel and National Geographic. She's the head of Presidio Property Trust. Don't ask me what that is because I Wall Street Journal Googled her. But it's a pretty impressive deal considering Stephanie's been trying to find more women uh, to empower and push and bring in and become members of executive teams and boards of directors. So Nardini will be an interesting choice for WWE, and we'll see what kind of work she'll bring onto that board of directors.
Uh okay, so I have some thoughts. I don't know this person. I don't know the brands that she launched. This Barstool Sports brand is gross. I spent
Yep,
2 minutes on this website. Like, so right now she reads to me as an marketer.
100%.
Cool. Go back
She
to
is.
the Attitude Era and you will get the same demo back. That's why that demo has, oh man. Like,
You bring up a good point. She might just be the type of person who says, "You want to bring numbers back? Bring back women dancing certain ways and bra and panty matches and tables everywhere." And yeah, you may be right.
yeah, like I mean, looking at Barstool Sports, if that was her trick, oh, she cracked the key. Bikini chicks. The first thing up in the top left beside Barstool Sports is giant block letters chicks, and it's the section about chicks. So like, yeah, you're a genius. I don't know, maybe she is, but if that's what she brought to the table, that's not much. Like, I can solve it. Put me on the board, WWE.
Now, here's the other thing. If you look at the marketing for WWE and for pro wrestling in general, it skews a certain way and it speaks to a certain demographic and expectation of person.
I
And
mean,
those are some of the same people who are clicking through to places like Barstool. And
yeah, yeah.
that's not me trying to be discouraging to wrestling fans because I know there are a lot of us who think differently and are different from the people who might be at Barstool.
No,
But it's reality.
100%. What I would say, if they want that demo, they've been marketing to children specifically for the last 2 decades.
Yeah. And now
Like,
they're
you
not seeing
made a
the fruits of their labor.
choice. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
They're,
children grow up.
yeah. Well, they're losing those children when they
And
grow up.
yeah, because yeah, like you lose interest in things. I stopped watching wrestling for like 10 years after I like finished university. It just happened. I don't
Yeah.
know.
So now their idea is how do we bring them back?
Maybe stop marketing exclusively to children.
I think we're going to see what Nardini brings.
Yeah, we'll see.
And I agree with you. Barstool, not the place where I go.
Yeah,
The
I'm not surprised it was never served.
place that I do go is to Fox. Not for news, never for news. I go to Fox to watch SmackDown, like most people. And you know who's back? Renee Paquette. Renee Young is
Oh.
coming back to the WWE on Fox.
A brief sojourn outside.
No, she was never out. She was always in. I think Fox and WWE were trying to find out what to do next, and they've actually found some new content to put on their station. So it's been announced that as the WWE on Fox begins their second year on Fox, they're going to be launching a pre-show, and that's going to start next Friday, so the 16th of October, and will be hosted by Renee Paquette, Renee Young, as she is still known in WWE on Fox, and Booker T. So the two of them are going to be at the Thunderdome in Orlando. It's going to be on 30 minutes before SmackDown. So if you're on the Eastern time zone like we are, it's going to be 7:30 Eastern. And yeah, it's nice to see Renee's going to be back on the air.
Yeah, that's really cool. So I assume she's now like it was more like a legal thing. She's Fox now.
It may have been that she had two different contracts.
Oh.
One is a talent where she was backstage doing interviews on Raw and SmackDown. The other one was the backstage show and the Fox contract. So she had that, but she had that backstage Fox money, and then backstage got canceled with pandemic. So they wanted to make good on a lot of those people, and they hired Ryan Satin from he was hosting the Satin Sheet on backstage too. So now he's going to be working.
There's one thing I'm curious about. So Fox wants to give WWE all this time, 30 minutes before. Why not just do an hour program? Like, I don't want that to happen. Let me be clear. I don't want that. But like, why add 30 minutes of talking before? It's weird to me.
It's a good lead in for them. They need it. It's like the pre-show for NFL. It's like Fox Sports would do for any big pre-show or post-show. They have Talking Smack now, which honestly it's the next morning on Saturday, but at least it's a post-show. And it's actually really good if you get a chance. It's easy. It's like 45 minutes. You can breeze through it. It's a few people. It's good. But yeah, that's the good of the Thunderdome. That's the good of going to Orlando. The bad of going to Orlando is Governor DeSantis opening Florida to capacity. Tim, there's a chance that WrestleMania is going to be at a stadium outdoors in Florida at capacity. Because earlier this week, DeSantis said that, for example, and there are other venues that could do this too, the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, where the Miami Dolphins play for NFL football, they can operate at a capacity of 65,000 people. Oh boy.
I wish they could just keep them in Florida. Like, go fill the stadium. Just stay in Florida.
That's the problem. You can't really do it because people will come in droves to go see a play, something like WrestleMania.
All right. Well, as long as we keep our border closed, I don't give a crap.
Yeah, I don't think Canadians, I don't think we'll be going in. I mean, listen, we can still fly into the United States.
Good. They can stay there too. And then when they want to deport them, they can ship them out to sea.
Well, from WrestleVotes at the same time as that whole capacity conversation came in, said, quote, the state of Florida will begin allowing full capacity attendance for stadium events. Vince McMahon has been privately holding out for hope that a full capacity WrestleMania will happen. He gets his wish. Whether or not 65,000 fans show up, that's another question.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, excellent. That's kind of where we're sitting right now. I don't think 65,000 people. Well, then we're going to go back to the conversation we just had about the types of people who may watch Barstool and care about the Attitude Era. All right, let's move on. You know what? Let's just move on. We already know this is a problem. So instead, let's take another quote from WrestleVotes about Otis, your favorite wrestler.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you have to say, ooh, yeah.
Ooh, ooh yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh
perfect.
yeah.
So according to WrestleVotes, there have been multiple pitched ideas to remove the Money in the Bank briefcase from Otis, your favorite wrestler, and make the storyline a main focus again. Some of which are really decent ideas, so he's been told. So WrestleVotes has been told. However, this is a big however. Otis's biggest fan is, you guessed it, Vince McMahon. So right now, no go. Tim, I know you love Otis.
I don't love Otis as champ of anything, though. I don't think that's necessary. I don't know. Like, have you
Hold
heard
on.
any?
We're about to do our draft. And yes, we're here to do the draft.
Yes.
Do you think there's a chance that Otis could move in the draft and take Money in the Bank with him?
Okay, he's on Smack. If he beats Randy Orton later, I'm fine with that.
Do you think if Otis gets a big push or a big opportunity, it'll be worth it?
I don't know. Like, I think he could do it. It's just that character is so weird for that. Like, it would be like one of those title reigns that lasts like a month and is like kind of a kick in the crotch. Like, I don't know. What's the storyline that they're going to make a main focus? Like the Money in the Bank thing being up and available?
Yeah, yeah, the idea is always that the Money in the Bank, for the briefcase itself, the idea right now is that it's available, or not available, but it could be given to Miz and Morrison after this Friday, right? But then to make it a main focus, the idea behind Money in the Bank is always that the person who holds it can cash in at any time.
Yeah.
So that's the big story that comes out of it.
I don't like. I don't see the point. Like, if you're gonna give it to Miz and Morrison, it's the same thing in my opinion. Like, I think they could be a champion as Otis could be. I know. I think Miz was at one point, wasn't he? He was WWE champion or something.
He won, yeah. He won
Yeah.
Money in the Bank and he cashed in, won the championship.
Yeah,
Went
I don't
on
care.
to
They're all
main
mid
event
carders now.
WrestleMania.
They're all mid carders now, and so like, if you're gonna give it to Miz, give it to Otis. I don't care. Like,
But that's the ebb and flow. That's the ebb and flow of wrestling.
yeah, of course. But that like, you might as well do an Otis angle. I just don't know who he's gonna wrestle for it. Like right now, the champions are in a weird, untouchable place. So,
Well, our boy Throwback says that it's wild that NXT is not part of Money in the Bank. He would have him cash in on Finn. Otis cashing in on Finn. And everyone joked about it, and I wouldn't be against it because I think it would be hilarious and completely out of sync with everything WWE does. It would raise some eyebrows.
Do the tag titles and get it off the table already. Like,
and that's what everyone said when he originally won it.
Yeah.
But I think it's a bit of a cop-out.
Yeah, it is. It absolutely is. And it's just because, for whatever reason, they're not even trying, in my opinion. Like, they've got this storyline, which has legs. Like, but once it's done, leave Otis with the title, give him a shot.
Here's the thing. You have until May. When was it? Was it June this year? Was Money in the Bank?
Good question. I have no idea.
So you have a year.
Yeah.
And typically when you get to the summer months post WrestleMania, people kind of start to drop off. They don't watch the show as much. And as a result, you can kind of play around with things, such as Jinder Mahal winning the WWE Championship from Randy Orton in, May or June of 2017. So if you give Otis a run, maybe not, you basically build him from here up until the summertime and then have him cash in maybe at the last possible moment, or maybe make him the first wrestler to go all the way to the end of the Money in the Bank cycle and then cash it in. Whether or not it's a success, that just comes down to how he's booked between now and then.
Yeah. Yeah, like I think that's fine. You have time to work then, because they can't do it in the short term. There's just no avenue for that I can see.
But also, this is WWE. And this is a place where long-term stories don't always go the way you want it.
No, retribution.
And that's why we have the draft.
Shut it down.
The
Start it
draft is a
over.
great way to absolutely shut it down, like you said, start all over, start fresh, end some of the stories you have, and then go to whatever's next. Fresh matchups.
Yeah.
Do you want to do a draft, Tim?
Yeah, let's try this. I full disclosure, all I did was quickly look at who's available to draft.
Wonderful. Well, we're going to use the speaking of Ryan Satin earlier, we're going to use the Fox Sports Fox on WWE article that Ryan had put up earlier today, and that includes who's going to be available. It includes the rules. If you get a chance, go onto that that account, Fox WWE's account, and take a look at the article. It's really well written. It has everyone who's involved in the draft for 2 nights. We're going to pick from nights 1 and 2 because we only do the show once a week, at least for now. And NXT is not part of the draft. I'm going to represent SmackDown. Tim is going to represent Raw. And Tim is also going to receive an extra 3 picks because at the end of the day, Raw has an extra hour to kill. I mean, Phil. The champs are going to be movable, but the women's tag team champions are off the board because guess what? They're still not brand exclusive. Sure.
Well, they're building it up. You got 2 new women's tag teams right now that are doing just fine.
I guess. Well,
hey, they're great. Dana Brooke finally has something to do, and I'm pleased about that.
That's fair. We talked about this before about me with Mandy Rose immediately joining another tag team when she leaves and goes somewhere else. Not my biggest thing, but those 2 as a tag team, they're actually pretty good.
Yep.
Anyway, with that in mind, you are in control of the board. Who would you go first?
All right. Who's coming to Raw?
And this is completely off the cuff. This is not something we planned for.
Yeah. I'm looking at
we talked about doing it. We didn't plan out our draft.
Okay, this is hard to read, first off.
Wonderful. That's why I'm here.
So I'm going to say that. So what do I... These are SmackDown eligible? No, this is everyone. I'm looking at the image.
Oh, don't look at the image. Just look at the
So I have to just
list.
memorize who's everywhere? Fine. I'll try to recall from my memory where everyone falls. I'm sorry if I say something dumb. I think I got it. Give me Elias. Okay. Wait. No, Elias is on Raw?
This is your number 1 draft pick.
You know what?
You can pick anybody.
Is he still injured?
Who, Elias?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
For some reason, he's on the board.
No, it means he's coming back because the WWE has no interest in actually surprising me anymore.
You're killing me. Pick first.
Yeah, Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman. He needs something to do. He can't do anything else on SmackDown, I guess, because proximity to the Fiend is a vacuum.
So your first pick is going to be Braun Strowman.
Well, he clearly wants to be there anyway.
Well, that's true. He did show up wanting a match. So I'm going to write that down. I got Braun Strowman as your number 1.
Yeah, even though there hasn't been Raw Underground for 2 weeks.
All right. Well, my first pick, actually, I'm going to give this to Throwback because he called it. My first pick is going to SmackDown, Keith Lee, the Limitless one.
Yeah.
I'm going to separate those 2. They'll have their match maybe at Hell in a Cell or something, and then they won't touch again for the next God knows how long.
Yeah, love that.
Move along.
Let me do a little thing. Real quick. I'm adding some text over my dumb face.
These are picks?
I'm gonna try to
That's
do this.
hilarious.
Yeah. Here we go. Braun Strowman.
Wow, this is impressive.
I can't see it. I give up. All right, screw that. Who is my second pick? I am Raw.
Yes, you are. You have a champion.
I have a champion.
You do.
That
you
champion
have a Viper.
is Drew McIntyre.
Yes. You have a U.S. champion. Actually, he's part of a stable.
Yeah, don't touch them. They're fine where they are.
Okay. You can keep them because then I can take them.
No.
Keep that in mind. I can take anybody.
Wait, you have to keep people?
No, yeah, because the idea is that it's a draft. Anyone can go anywhere.
This is dumb.
You're not good with this, are you?
I think this is a dumb thing in wrestling. Why are some people here but not all people?
Well, that's just because some people are injured and some people just aren't important enough to be part of a draft.
See, that's dumb.
Well, here we are. So play the game, damn it.
I'm trying. Okay, fine. I'll keep the Hurt Business.
All right. So your second pick is the Hurt Business.
Look, you need a stable that size to actually fill 3 hours.
Yeah, that's fair. So your second pick is the Hurt Business.
Yeah, all of them, because now I just have more wrestlers than you. So
That's fine. You're on Raw. You got that extra hour to fill. And with my second pick, I'm going to take Roman Reigns, the Universal Champion, also known as the Blue Universal Champion.
oh my god. Raw. I am Raw. Asuka.
Okay,
Yeah. She's putting in work.
fair. I will then take Sasha Banks.
Yeah, that's fair.
All
I'm
right.
fine with that. Yeah, let me fill out mine.
Yes, on our document, we are filling it out so that we can actually make sure we don't double up.
I might do it. I just might. You never know now.
Well, clone wrestlers. That's what we're doing.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Alex Thomas is asking, is Brock on the board? Brock is not on the board because he is, quote, not even signed right now, but also he's part-time, so he doesn't count. Other names that don't count include Goldberg, anyone who's injured, anyone who's like full on part-time, people like that. If you go to Fox, you'll find their list there. Who's up? It's you.
Retribution.
Okay.
I just want like I'm gonna get all the wrestlers now. You're gonna be stuck with nothing. Only singles.
It's fine. I got 2 hours.
We're gonna start. We're gonna start a 6-man tag belt. That's what we're gonna do.
Fine by me. So I am going to take Rey and Dominic Mysterio.
Good. Get rid of them.
Yes. I think it's time for them to move over, take on a new thing. Let's go.
Yeah.
And Throwback actually says that Retribution fills a lot of needs, including having 2 women and 4 good talents, because Mustafa Ali is part of Retribution now. He does go with it.
See?
Becky Lynch, by the way, is not on the list because she's pregnant and currently out of action.
She's not. Oh, she is still pregnant. Baby hasn't been
Till
born.
maybe December?
Yeah.
November, December? You're up. You still have a WWE champion, by the way.
Yeah, but
Fine.
I guess fine. We'll take Drew. We'll take Drew. I like Drew.
All right.
I really like Drew. You know what? He's great.
Good.
I wish Randy Orton would just piss off. I'm tired of him.
Well, I will be taking the Queen, Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, she'll be on all 3 shows anyway. So.
Well, may as well get it all out of the way now. Put her on SmackDown and then let her go to Raw in the brand-to-brand invitational. And then go to NXT when she decides that she wants a rematch for her NXT championship.
Yeah, always. Oh, I guess I did. Well, we're going to keep the Street Profits. They're killing it. They're great. See?
All yours.
Also, it would be confusing if the Raw tag team titles went to SmackDown.
Oh, it's happened.
I know, it's dumb. Again, I can't stress how dumb this is.
Well, I will take the man who's been after Drew McIntyre for so long. I will take Randy Keith Orton.
I would sell you him. It's perfect.
Really?
Yeah, get him off my show. I'm tired of this angle. Do a different angle. I get to watch Randy Orton Hell in a Cell. Really? I don't care. It's going to be the slowest. And I like Randy Orton, but what does he bring to a Hell in a Cell match?
We're going to talk about that a little bit later when we do our hits and misses.
I'm fired up.
You are feeling this tonight. I love it.
Okay. Weird. The Viking Raiders are just split. Okay.
So I will say that is weird because Ivar is injured. Eric is currently injured as well, and he is out of action. So I don't know why Eric made the draft list and not Ivar when they're both injured. It's weird.
Okay. I'm looking for numbers. I'm taking the New Day. Taking the whole New Day.
Oh, come on. You can do that? Is the New Day on that?
Apparently, it's there as 1.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah, see? I'm coming out of this victorious.
Now I'm hot. Now I hate this. Oh, by the way, for people who, sorry, Rob Patel says, I don't know why, but Jack Crosby looks like Tim. If you watched the distraction on Fightful earlier today, Jack Crosby was one of the guests with Jeremy Lambert, Joe Holbert, and Robert O'Neill. And yeah, he is another bald, bearded gentleman.
I'm basically like what you get when you load up the Creator Wrestler and just leave it on the default settings. Like,
Speaking of Jeremy and Fightful, I'm going to be on Fightful Gaming tomorrow night after the SmackDown post show. Jeremy and I have to finish up our SmackDown versus Raw 2009 co-op. We're going to do that. We're going to play some other video games, and we're going to hang out with everyone in the chat. Do that because it's a good time. So how about we move along? I am going to take the SmackDown Women's Champion. I'm going to take Bayley.
go for it.
Which is going to piss a lot of people off because I just kept Bayley and Sasha Banks on the same show.
Keep it going. I'm gonna take my man Otis and Heavy Machinery.
Oh, Heavy
Keep
Machinery
that money in the
Raw.
bank. Yeah.
Go
Well,
for it.
you keep the anticipation. You got all the titles. You got all the factions, and you got
Yep.
Otis. So,
All right. Well, you can do that. I'm going to take the Intercontinental Champion, Sami Zayn, who will annoy the hell out of my people.
yeah,
Who will do a good job.
yeah. See, that'll keep me watching.
Yep.
Lucha House Party.
Okay. I'm down. I'll take my tag team champions back. I'll take Shinsuke and Cesaro. Now, the good news about that is that I get two perfectly good singles wrestlers because inevitably they'll lose the championship and have to go and do their own thing.
Especially
and then Shinsuke can become a big champ.
You have no tag teams, so
Yeah, kind of seeing that. I got Rey and Dominic Mysterio. And we're only picking 15, and there's like 60 picks later. So we're just doing our thing.
Why do I feel like that's the direction they're gonna go with Dominic after this fizzles out? Just a father-son tag team, as good as Billy Gunn and his kid.
Well, he and Umberto are a tag team right now, so.
Which I like. I hope they keep that. I just don't add Ray in. Add Ray in as a manager. That's fine. It's my pick, yeah?
Yep.
Have I picked all of the large groups?
Technically, you have.
Let's go with The Miz and Morrison, because we're just going to keep the Otis stuff going.
Okay. And since I need a tag team, I will I can't believe I'm going to do this. I'll take Dolph Ziggler and Bobby friggin' Roode.
You're just being mean now. You know that I love Robert Roode, and now you're being mean.
And I'm going to repackage him, and he will no longer be glorious.
No, I don't want that.
Yes.
I'll trade you right now.
Well, in the chat, we have Throwback asking if Ronda counts. And if so, Duke and Shafir would be good to do the draft of the 4 horsewomen of MMA. I agree, but unfortunately, Ronda's not in the draft. She's inactive right now. And yeah, Tim, you're going to rage quit.
Yeah.
Keep going.
It seems wrong that I can't just get both of the Viking Raiders, because when they come back, that'll be good.
Well, maybe one will show up with the other.
Also, why aren't Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose together? Why
aren't
Natalya
Natty and Natalya? That's right.
This is so I don't like any of this. Let's bring Sheamus over. Let's give him something to do. Yeah, you know what? I think he's being underutilized. And not that he's not getting a ton of TV time, but he I don't know. I don't like what they're doing with him on SmackDown.
Fair. Let's see. Looking at my board, I will take the Monday Night Messiah. I will take Seth Rollins, and unfortunately that means that the Mysterio versus Seth storyline will continue.
What's he going to be, the Friday Night Messiah, and then go on paternity leave immediately? This was a poor choice. This was a poor choice on your part.
Right, Daddy.
Oh, I don't. Yeah.
Well, first of all, we'll get to this with Ember Moon saying, "Mama wants gold." Nope, not a fan.
I thought that was weird. Paired with her look, I was like, "What?" Okay, whatever. I don't know who you are supposed to be.
Oh, Tim, you pick up next.
Okay. Shayna Baszler, Nia Jax.
No, you can't. They're tag team champs.
Well, why are they listed in the pool?
I don't know. That's dumb, though. Well, I guess because once they lose, they will be someone. So you know what? Forget it.
Is that Ryan's fault? Is that Ryan's fault?
I don't know. We're gonna fire Ryan Satin already. So that's who you're gonna take them?
No, we went over the rules, so
No, it's part of the. No, it is. It's fine. You
But
can
that
take them
doesn't
because
make any-
once they lose,
Okay.
all right,
no.
just do whatever. You take what you want.
Yeah, I'll take Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax, and then once they lose, they get deported.
Alex Thomas in the chat asks, "Who are making these picks tomorrow anyway? Adam Pearce or the executives from Fox and USA?" Now, if I had my way, I would have Adam Pearce go out in half red and half blue suits and pick based on what USA and Fox tell him. No, I want Adam Pearce to pick on behalf of Raw, and I want the Fox robots to pick on behalf of SmackDown. That's what I want for my draft.
So they write like it's the Fox and USA execs, but I
it's entirely internal.
Yeah, IRL, they don't give a crap what they do. It's probably just Stephanie McMahon and like a bingo.
It's Vincent Bruce. It's just Vincent Bruce sitting there being like, this is stale. Let's move this around.
So boring.
Wyatt.
I was looking at him. But then Braun Strowman's there and they can't be near each other for some reason.
Yes, they can.
You know what? I'm a take Bray Wyatt just so that they hopefully bring back the Wyatt family at some point.
Okay.
There you go.
I will take Bianca Belair.
Just to throw all of that work they've been doing in the trash.
Damn right. You can still run those vignettes. Just gonna wear blue now.
Oh, I got some thoughts on that one too.
We're gonna get to that and hits and misses.
I don't even think I mentioned there's so much to complain about, but I want to be positive. Who's great?
This show is gonna go longer than an hour today. This is to make up for Friday.
Okay. This list is too long.
I'm gonna reiterate: no NXT talent is eligible for the draft. It is not part of the draft, and if Bray is on his own, Alexa is on her own. There is no togetherness for them in the draft on Fox, which is what we're pulling from. We're pulling from the Fox official draft rules and board, which you can find on the Fox Sports website. Well, there you go. USA gets Alexa Bliss and Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, it gives her some time to stream or do the podcast on Friday or whatever she does.
Perfect. I am going to take. I'm going to take Peyton Royce.
Yeah, get her away from Monday.
I think it's time for her to break out and be a big star.
Yeah, I'm not going to pick Billy, but she can stay on Raw.
Deal.
R-Truth.
Smart, taking the 24/7 champion.
Yeah.
That means that I am going to take Kevin Owens.
Oh, but the storyline.
Yeah, well, they'll have their blow off.
Oh. Like now? Like, oh man.
Like tomorrow night on SmackDown?
It has to be tomorrow.
Hey, our draft doesn't mean nothing. Alex Thomas comes in, says future world champion R-Truth is still on the board, and then just laughs, says never mind because his dream is lagged.
Nice.
Wonderful. I love timing. All right, your turn. And then
Riot Squad hated their match, but you know what? I want all the people. So
okay.
I'm trying to drought your show.
Yeah, seriously. You're trying to take everybody.
All right, last pick. Who's it going to be for you?
It's my last pick, eh?
Yeah.
Tamina. No, I'm kidding. Who am I going to take? I am going to draft Andrade.
Yep.
Friday Night SmackDown.
Yeah.
I think that it's time for them to split up and for him to do his thing, maybe go after the Intercontinental Championship.
Makes sense.
Little Jimmy does come with R-Truth, by the way.
Of course he does.
Yep. And you have two more picks.
I got two more that I pick right now.
And you just took the Riot Squad.
I did just take the Riot Squad. So the next two are definitely coming from SmackDown.
Take
I just keep everyone else, right?
All right.
Let's go with. No, I just had it, and now my brain is lapsing.
Perfect. While your brain is lapsing, you can like, you can subscribe, and you can comment on this just to get our numbers up, and we can get your friends listening with our beautiful voices. Who's your 17th pick?
Carmella.
Oh, smart. Mela comes Raw. Carmella, who's never moved from SmackDown since the 2016 draft.
Yeah, exactly.
You're making bold statements.
And
you're fine.
Daniel Bryan.
Smart again. I was waiting for him to come off the board.
See,
Brian hasn't been on TV, so good time.
Boom. I win, clearly. I mean,
There you
without
go.
question.
So right now for Tim's Raw, you have Braun Strowman, The Hurt Business, Asuka, Retribution, Drew McIntyre, Street Profits, New Day, Heavy Machinery, Lucha House Party, Miz and Morrison, Sheamus, Shayna Baszler, Nia Jax, Bray Wyatt, Alexa Bliss, R-Truth, The Riot Squad, Carmella, and Daniel Bryan. You have a full tag team roster.
Beautiful.
Well done.
Yeah.
Very well done.
Joel SmackDown has Keith Lee, Roman Reigns, Sasha Banks, Rey and Dominic Mysterio, Charlotte Flair, Randy Orton, Bayley, Sami Zayn, Shinsuke and Cesaro, Dolphin Rude, Seth Rollins, Bianca Belair, Peyton Royce, Kevin Owens, and Andrade. You have a pretty good women's singles.
That's what I wanted.
Yeah.
I want SmackDown to be the land of women's empowerment.
That's nice.
That's why my general manager is Stephanie McMahon.
Is that still a thing? Do they still have the general managers? I haven't seen.
They do not.
Yeah.
No. They have Adam Pearce.
Yeah.
They have Postman Pearce.
Postman Pearce.
Who makes all of your deliveries on time.
Oh man. All right. Let's move
Hits
on.
and misses. I don't want to talk about anything else. I'm gonna editorialize for 2 seconds. Normally we do Indie of the Week here. The Collective is this weekend. I love wrestling. Everyone knows that, and that's why we're here, and that's why we're talking about it. And I want to talk about the Collective, and I want to talk about Effie's Big Gay Brunch, and I want to talk about Bloodsport, and I want to talk about all the amazing shows that are going on. But unfortunately, I really can't because of everything that's going on in the world with coronavirus, with COVID-19. It's just not the time to run that show.
Stay
and
the
with all
hell
the stuff
home.
I'm seeing, with all the stuff that I am seeing in terms of how shows are running, whether they're outdoors or indoors, I don't care. The Collective will be on Fight TV. You can watch it if you want. Support the wrestlers, but there's got to be a better way to do it. That's all I can say.
ProWrestlingTees.com.
Yeah, go to ProWrestlingTees.com. Order from your favorite wrestler. Go to Cameo and order from your favorite wrestlers.
Buy me some wrestling shirts. I have none.
Yeah, there you go. Buy
Wrestling
something
podcast, no shirts. Buy me.
Buy something for Tim. Buy something for me. Let's just do hits and misses.
Yeah,
let's just do hits and misses.
All right. What are we doing?
Well, let's talk about the takeover.
Takeover. That was a
thing. We did our predictions for PW Unlimited.
We did.
We did not do well.
No.
Not
Wait. I thought I did okay.
We did.
I did okay. It was you.
Okay. Maybe I
did okay. I think I nailed like 4 out of 5.
Damn it.
Okay. Gargano versus Priest was my favorite out of all of them. Really happy with that match. It was excellent.
Yeah.
What did you enjoy from that show?
I enjoyed that match. Above that, though, I had put down that Kyle O'Reilly and Finn Balor had a great match, which shocks nobody. They had a great match.
Out of each other. Oh my god!
Literally, good lord! You've got Finn with a broken jaw now, and you've got Kyle O'Reilly, who quote has a lacerated spleen or a liver something.
It's on the stomps.
Just call it a concussion and get it over with. Okay. Yeah. That was a great match, despite the injuries that came from it. So I really enjoyed that match, and also it does move Kyle O'Reilly up the card, up the chain, if you will, which is great.
100%.
And I like Ember Moon as the biker. We've been talking about it for weeks. It's perfect. Yeah, she's back. Nobody expected her to come back, and I'm just really happy to see her on her feet and wrestling. It's going to be a really good time.
That brings me to what I didn't really like about TakeOver. It muted Ember's return is to show Tony Storm after randomly.
It was before.
Yeah. Not after. I don't even know who this person is. And it took me a weirdly long time to realize that she was talking about herself in the third person and not putting over some dude I've never heard of.
So Tony Storm won the 2018, so the second Mae Young Classic. And she beat Io Shirai for that.
Okay.
So there's a story there. She was then on NXT UK. She was the second UK Women's Champion behind Rhea Ripley.
Got it.
She has been a women's wrestling powerhouse in all the UK. So she's very much worth watching. Mm-hmm. I do think you should take some time and watch some of her stuff. She's a great wrestler. Very nice human being too.
That's good. Yeah, it felt weird to introduce her before revealing who the biker was, like just out of nowhere. Like it wasn't surprising to me because it's like I don't even know. But
Yeah, I fully agree. That was my nope. That was my miss from NXT, from Takeover. The placement was just bad, and apparently Ember Moon had no idea that Tony Storm was coming out too, or that the video was airing. What's weird about it is just that Storm can't, or maybe can, but realistically cannot get across the border. So I don't know what's going on. She's supposedly still in the UK.
I don't like, they aired that other package this week, and it's just I don't know. I don't know what this is.
We'll have to see. Cool. What about SmackDown? What did you like from SmackDown this past week?
Otis is going to self-represent. I called it. I'm happy.
You got it.
Yeah, that's the only way to go. Like that's the best way to write that. Like easy comedy with that.
Yeah, it's a fun little thing they're doing. I wish it would be in a food court. That's all I wanted. You had such a great opportunity.
I think it's pretty good. Pretty good. We'll see.
Well, we'll see tomorrow night what that's going to look like. I think it'll be fun.
Yeah.
And for me, you know what? Kevin Owens and The Fiend, it's going to work a lot better to have The Fiend continue to be a heel instead of turning him babyface and go against Roman and all the stuff people were talking about when this originally started. I'd much rather see KO and The Fiend.
Yeah, same. I think it's cool. And actually, like, I think the dual storyline with Kevin Owens works. Like having the way they've been running it with Aleister Black coming in out at the same time is also like fine with me.
Yeah. What did you not like from SmackDown?
A lot. Like it felt like a weaker episode this week. I feel like they flipped in quality from what I'm accustomed to. The squashes, like there were 2 matches. What was it? It was Otis squashed Morrison, which didn't care for, and Sheamus squashed Shorty G. I was just like, you're just weakening your roster by making them look like that. I don't know what was going through their heads, but there were 2 rapid fire matches that neither one of them needed to happen at all.
Yeah, and it did feel a little bit strange. I think with AJ Styles getting that match going with Jay, that was just an opportunity for them to say bye-bye AJ. He'll go over to SmackDown, or go over to Raw, I should say.
Yeah.
And then for Shorty G, aka Chad Gable, you know what? He's probably going to go too, because he got the pin. You know, he got pinned in no time. So yeah,
I think it's just because Vince McMahon hates short people. Like
that's been for a long time.
Yeah, I know.
And then Morrison going over to Raw also makes sense. Just split up Miz and Morrison and just move along.
Oh, but I like them. But yeah, I like them both as singles competitors too. So it's worth it.
You can bring them back together at another
later
time.
on. Yeah, like it's a good thing to put in your back pocket at all times. Like whenever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For me, I'm not a big fan of doing Roman and Jay in Hell in a Cell. Do the match again by all means, but putting it in the cell was just it's a way too gimmicky. It doesn't make sense to me.
Do we know that it's in the cell? Like, do all title matches have to happen in the cell?
No, but this match is happening.
He said it's going to cost you more than.
So he said that, and then Michael Cole on SmackDown kept saying it's in the cell, it's in the cell.
Oh, okay.
But then WWE.com did not say anything about it being in the cell until the next day when talking smack. They said it's in the cell, and now on WWE.com it's listed as happening in Hell in a Cell.
That match has lost all the luster it used to have for me. Like I loved it when I was a kid, but like without blood, I hate to say, it feels weird. And like I don't know, there were good moments like Sasha and it was Becky, right? Sasha and Becky was like excellent. I don't know, like I said, Randy in Hell in a Cell is like the worst placement for me. I just don't see him as like interesting in that environment. But
he's done it before. He's been okay.
Yeah, like it's not, I don't know. It's hard.
It's just another match.
It's such a hard match nowadays, I find.
Yeah. So it's looking like we're going to have 3 Hell in a Cell matches, because the other thing that really bit me bad was watching Sasha versus Bayley announced for Friday.
Yeah.
Now what's going to happen. Here's the thing. The match might not happen. They might throw it out. They might not do the match, but we're going to go to the cell. It's probably going to main event Hell in a Cell. And that's great. It's going to be hopefully in the cell. But to move it to Friday, I get it. It's a ratings thing. And right now your money is coming from your television deals and the ratings that it promotes and predicts and gives. I have no reason to see the match on free cable with commercials.
Yeah. It's going to be weird. Like, I don't know, such a long build. So they're clearly something's going to happen, but I don't know.
Throwback asks a question and says, with Sammy and Jeff Hardy probably doing a match in Hell in a Cell, can you see the Intercontinental Championship defended in the cell? That is some TNA lockdown vibes right there, where every match was in a cage. I don't see it going that way.
Me neither. Yeah, I think it would be tough to work that in there. Like, I just don't think that they have that level of animosity between them. Like, Sammy throwing the title in the trash is about as close as you could get to it, but I don't know. It would feel kind of out of left wing.
Yeah, I agree. There's they just did a gimmick match for the Intercontinental Championship.
Exactly.
They just did the ladder match.
They roughed each other up. Like, there's no way they're going to top that in the cell. Like,
there's no, and right now, yeah, like you said, there's no reason to bring it to the cell. Could they do an Intercontinental Championship in the cell at some point? Absolutely. Any match, any championship can have a Hell in a Cell involved. You know, you had the tag team championships, you had the Usos and the New Day, and that was a great Hell in a Cell match. The title doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have it in the cell.
Yeah,
it's all about the story that you're telling. So for Sasha and Bayley, if Bayley dropped the title to Nikki, if it had happened, and then they still did Sasha and Bayley at Hell in a Cell in the cell, the story is still much that it needed to have that, you know, reasonable expectation of a match.
Yeah, which I had pitched. Like, I said the Bayley Sasha thing doesn't need a title. You could build other stories around the title and have like Bayley lose it, but
yeah,
this is a fine direction.
Well, let's move on to Raw. What did you like about Raw?
Mustafa getting that big push. Loved it.
Hell yes.
So good. Oh, it was great.
Are you excited for his new Retribution name?
No. He's
Good.
got
Awesome.
he's got a human name. Leave him with his human name. I expect them to wrap up the hacker story that was just left abandoned. Like, here's a good way to tie that off and like give yourself a little bit more writing credibility.
Totally.
So, yeah.
And that's just completely, they're just going to stumble upon that. They're going to play it off as if it was always the plan, but in reality, you have so many holes that you can tie up, and just do it.
Do it.
What's wrong with doing it?
For sure.
Like, yeah, if they don't tie the hacker together, it doesn't make sense.
No,
you
and
can
like
easily tell the story.
So much content now actually looks at like fan comments and things like that, so I think they'll see that and pick it up and put it in. Well, or at least pitch it to Vince, and he'll decide what happens. But
exactly. And something that I enjoyed from Raw, other than Ali, and people are going to give me flack about this, Lana versus the tables.
I'm not one of them. I love that. 3 times. Just, that's such a bully move. Like, Nia Jax just every single week. Like, Lana not only gets pinned every time, but then, oh man.
Now here's the thing. You can build Lana from here as this babyface, this white meat babyface who keeps getting knocked down, who keeps getting beat up, who keeps getting the shit knocked out of her. And then eventually she's going to get her comeuppance, and she's going to get her way, because what will happen next is Natty, who continues to run away or not be part of all of these situations that Lana finds herself in. Natty will turn on Lana and say, you're the loser of the team. I never trusted you. You brought me down. And they can have a very good match together, because Natty can hang with anybody and bring anyone to a serviceable match. Now, I bring it a little bit further, and I always joke like, okay, somewhere along the way, Natalya wins the women's championship. And now we're going to feud for the Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania, Lana versus Natalya. And you know what? It'll be a tables match.
I mean, that's a long game, I think, to get from where we are now to there, but that would be funny. Like, I could see Natalya eventually going over Asuka, and I'd be fine with that, but yeah, we'll see.
I think Lana can be an incredible white meat babyface if people gave it the chance and saw. I'm sick of seeing smart fans say something like, "Oh, Lana's getting turned off, and she's getting, everyone's going after her because of Miro." No. She's making millions of dollars. She's getting stunt woman experience. She's getting put through tables, and yeah, it's funny. And if you just take it at the story that WWE is going to tell, don't take everything as personally. Not everything is just inside baseball.
No, yeah, I like her. She's been doing good. It's been a good angle.
That's right.
I love what they're doing. Like, Natalya and Lana right now are a great tag team.
Maybe it's a big swerve, and Lana is the leader of Retribution.
No, we're done with that. We found out. It's
right,
over.
We figured it out. All right. What did you hate about Raw?
Ooh,
right?
Yeah, the same things. Like, the Murphy Rollins crap keeps going on. I don't care. Like, I just don't care.
Yeah, I put it down the same way.
Yeah.
Apollo versus Hurt Business 15. Done with it. And you know what? Going back to the whole Ali Retribution thing, you could have easily put that in the main event and ended the show with that instead of doing that 6-man tag. It was just weird placement.
The pacing was, I actually thought Raw finished, and then I looked at the clock and I was like, oh.
Like, oh, it's 10:30.
Okay.
What do we do next?
Yeah. Like, all right. Yeah. Oh, that's one thing that was really funny. Like, they started that walk to the ring so early. Like,
oh, when it was 15 minutes before.
How big is that arena? Like,
yeah, it was a bit awkward. Yeah. I was not into that. All right. And then last night we had NXT and we had AEW. What do you want to start with?
AEW.
Okay. Well, let's flip it. What did you hate about AEW?
Cody's stupid entrance.
Thank
and him
you.
Getting the stupid title back. Doesn't deserve it. God, that entrance was terrible.
Brody Lee today said that the original plan was for him not to win the TNT championship. Cody was always supposed to hold that championship.
But he had to go do some TV crap. So, I'd like that even less.
Well, that's just what came out today from the AEW Unrestricted podcast.
God, so much pyro. Like, it's like, dude, you're the one making this decision. I know that. Please. Like,
so I agree. It looks bad. You've got Cody's love for NWA
himself?
And Dusty style storytelling. Yep. You've got his love for having that special entrance tunnel that only he can have straight down the middle. It doesn't make much sense. And also Cody, death, taxes, and Cody Rhodes bleeding in a match.
Oh my God.
3 things
so much.
You can always count on.
Popped open so quick.
Yeah. And I'm going to just put it out there. I didn't like Cody versus Orange Cassidy being announced for next week.
No. Yeah. What? Like, why? Who's the, ugh.
Doesn't make sense. To
Orange
me,
better win. Like,
yeah, I mean, listen, there's nothing wrong with doing that too.
Yeah.
Have Orange Cassidy win, have Cody go on and do whatever else. But the problem is Cody booked himself into a corner with the whole I can't win the world championship thing. And now what do you put him in that 8-man tournament? Have him win it to get a chance at Moxley. Suddenly he can go and because it makes you can't keep it that way.
No, like I think they need to transition that belt off of him more permanently, apparently.
Yeah. And Jericho.
This was a don't like, you didn't like. I'll tell you one thing. Jericho has a lot of fans in people whose art I don't care for very much. That's what I discovered from all those cameos. It's like stuff that I used to like when I was like 14.
Oh,
Jericho 30 years into his career, still making Kevin Smith happy.
Kevin Smith is actually of all of the cameos, that was probably the best one. Him and Tanahashi, which like erupted the entire internet wrestling community.
Tanahashi was great.
I'm in Japan now.
Yeah, he was wholesome. No problem with that. Seeing 2 members of Kiss.
Like, 2 members of Kiss, 2 members of Steel Panther.
Panther.
Lars from Metallica.
I missed that one. I wasn't even paying attention. There was one guy who was clearly reading. I don't even think he knows Jericho. I don't know what that.
I hope it was his dad, because Dad Irvin did do it.
That was it. That's it.
His dad.
I was like, I don't know who this guy is. Does he even know Jericho? Like, he's clearly reading something off screen.
Oh God, that's amazing.
It felt so impersonal. It was brutal.
Yeah, well, that's a relationship. Yeah, Jericho and Luther, that was my problem. Luther being put over in that match, like being put in a main event just because he and Jericho are buddies. It didn't work.
It was a lifeless match. Like, it felt like, yep, this is what 3 decades into a wrestling career looks like.
And also, I get it. There was the vice presidential debate and it drew almost 40, or was it 49 or 50 million viewers. It was huge. Viewership was down for both AEW and NXT. Mm-hmm. So as a result, I get why the dog collar match was the opening to hour 2 and why Jericho and his tag match was at the end of the night. I get it. And like the end was funny with the stupid
tiny bat
hitting the clown with the Judas effect and then rolling the SNL credits. Funny. I love it. It was silly, stupid shit. I was fine with that.
It is good to see a clown get what's coming to them, but
right?
Yeah.
God, Yerpel was unavailable. Let's move on. What did you like about AEW?
Weird, but Hybrid 2 versus FTR. And like there were some strange spots. Like Evans completely missed one like jump. And then Dax
he did the
still
flip.
sold.
I think
Like
he wanted to make it look as if he whipped his foot.
yeah, I
Against his
rewatched it. They're not even like, there was no contact there. You could have just done the, oh, you missed. Let me take advantage of the opportunity, you know? But I don't know. In the moment, it's tough. But
Yeah.
great match overall. Like really, really glad to see. Like I like Angelico, so it was good to see him back on main program TV and doing an awesome job.
How'd you feel about the Young Bucks watching TV backwards?
Oh, it was great. That was a good bit.
Loved it.
Like the
That was one of
can you get this one?
It's fun, and they've been tying it together with BTE with being the elite, which
Yeah.
normally like you have to watch it to get it, but they're doing a good enough job where they're telling the stories accessibly on both brands.
Yeah,
I'm a fan
totally.
of that. It's
Yeah.
good. And you know what? I said it jokingly, but John Silver gets first blood in that dog collar match.
Yeah. I think Cody is just so eager.
Yeah, exactly. So that's for me. Those were two of my favorites for that.
Yeah.
Anything for you? Anything else for AEW?
No. Like that
Obviously.
that was solidly my favorite. Like the dog collar match had its spots that were pretty good, but overall, like I think Cody undermined its potential.
Gratuitous is one of the words I would use.
Yeah.
A lot of blood, and they foreshadowed it by introducing the Doctor and introducing Greg Valentine, who had that match against Roddy Piper. That was a very bloody and uncomfortable dog collar match in '83. I get it.
And just
It was
having
a
him
little
sit there
much.
was so weird too. Like bringing a guy to just okay. Like we
Well,
need to
Greg
point
Valentine
the
isn't going to
camera.
do much.
Yeah,
He's not gonna do much.
exactly. But it's just like, why? Okay.
All right. What did you not like about NXT?
That's a good question. It was good overall. I'm a little bit confused about what direction they're taking Ember Moon. Like the promo felt out of step with her attire. Like I don't know. I don't know much about her from before, but
It was an awkward promo from Ember.
yeah.
The way that they had the crowd noise going in the background was weird. It felt very flat. And also with Ember, she is trying to redefine her character, because before her character was even more undefined before, when before the injury, she was just the girl who barked at the moon.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah. Like it's just a lot of stuff all together, and I think it needs to be pared down a little bit.
Yeah. Her theme is great though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The one and then I guess like Dream came out and ruined a perfectly good match.
Yep. Ain't much more to say there.
Yeah.
I didn't love Loomis versus Theory. They had a weird placement. Doing Dexter Loomis coming back to take on Austin Theory, that's one thing. Doing it at the beginning of AEW's dog collar match, not really where I'd do it.
Very happy to have Loomis back, but yeah, weird to have Austin wrestled 2 matches back to back for no good reason.
Especially having Loomis come out and Vic Joseph be like, we haven't seen him in 10 weeks when you just saw him last week on NXT TV when Cameron Grimes is backstage. It's just a weird, just again, left hand not talking to the right hand. That said, what I did like about NXT, Johnny Gargano.
Yeah.
That whole thing about getting a TV from Indy Hartwell, who, by the way, Indy, if you're watching, I could use a 65-inch TV in my guest room. Please consider it. Anyway, I love it. I love that when he saw the TV and saw it was from Indy, the first thing he said, like, oh, Indy, who'd she ever beat? Just completely like just burying her, not giving a shit about her. It was wonderful. And then he puts the TV, they mount the TV, which by the way, don't know where they got a wall mount, but all right. They wall mount the TV and they're watching it and they do the whole, oh, she sent us a USB stick. And good storytelling, because nobody else could have told us during that battle royal that Indy went and saved Candace a bunch of times. Great. Yep. And then all of a sudden they flip the switch and it's like, oh, I love her. She's wonderful. Maybe she's the best thing to ever happen to us. Yeah. So that begs the question. Are we going to have a polyamory storyline?
No, it's PG.
Right. Sorry. But maybe Indy and the Garganos, maybe they'll become a throuple.
Yeah, okay. It's WWE, they're PG, and even if it's like all just very wholesome, they ain't that progressive. So
Erica Bardini's first piece of work for the WWE.
Oh man.
Pitching a storyline of a throuple.
Yeah, 18 to 35 or whatever.
That's exactly. Funny. Progressive storylines.
Yeah, like it's crazy. Once Tegan Knox was like not in the same room as them, the how much I enjoyed that acting part of it went right up. So
fair. And then the other thing I liked was the main event. I liked watching Ember Moon come back and the tag team with Rhea Ripley taking on Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. Solid match, good match. Ember Moon's got to shake some ring rust off, but it's been almost 18 months or something, like 14 months. It'll come back. But you know what? Just seeing that there's a women's division that has more depth, just with these two additions of Ember Moon and then Toni Storm, that's one thing. But now you've got Rhea Ripley back in the fold, and then Dakota Kai, who they keep doing this back and forth, win and lose 50-50 thing with. It doesn't make sense, but she's still doing all right.
Yep.
So
I mean, it's good. Like, again, it's NXT doing what they need to do, seeing they had like a dip in available talent. Now they're building up a ton of people like very quickly and very well. So once again, NXT does everything correctly for the most part compared to some of the main roster shows. My favorite thing, like I honestly really enjoyed that Ciampa versus Kushida match, and then it was just kind of thrown out at the end. And
because now Ciampa has to beat the shit out of Dream.
Yeah, cool. And then the Drake and Killian bit was funny. I liked it.
It was the theme music that they had too with the whistling. So stupid, so wonderful.
Yeah, it's great.
And eventually you're gonna have Killian Dane like come out and be friends with Drake Maverick and do the dance, and like it's gonna be a huge moment.
But he's gonna keep decking him every single week until they are friends, which is hilarious. Like just punching him down. Oh man, it's funny.
And just like Lana with the tables, it will be wonderful.
Yeah.
And then everyone's going to sit there and say, "Remember when Drake Maverick was brought back and it was a big deal?" No, it was never a big thing.
It wasn't.
It was great to see him back, but he was never going to be cruiserweight champion.
No, and he cut some good promos. Back. Yeah, it was good.
This is the best thing that could have happened to him. Doing this tag team thing. It's going to be funny. It's going to be a fun ride, and it's going to speak to exactly what Drake Maverick can do, and that is be funny and wrestle well.
Yep.
Looking forward to it.
Totally.
Is that the end of our hits and misses?
Yeah, we're over time, so it better be.
Wouldn't be the first time. Kids. Oh, you know what, Tim? Where can people find you?
Where they can find me is at Tim Stone P on Twitter. TIMB Stone, the letter P. That's where they can find me.
Are you on Instagram?
I am. It's Tim Stone Pile Driver, though, because that's what the P stands for. It's just Twitter has a character limit.
That's amazing. I love it. Oh, and you can find me all over the place at Joel Pearl, JoelPearl. It's over here on this side, and it's underneath you on the screen, I think. And on top of that, you can find me tomorrow night after the SmackDown post show on Fightful. Go to youtube.com/Fightful, and I will be playing video games with Jeremy Lambert. You won't see my face because we're just going to play video games instead and chat. Last time we did it, it actually turned into a bit of a therapy session for both of us, talking about our partners and our lives, and that was interesting. But you know what? We also play video games, and people love that. And you know what? You can find us at twitch.tv/TimandJoelPod. You can find us at timandjoelpod.com. On Twitter and Instagram, it's the same thing. Everywhere you go, it's timandjoelpod.com or just timandjoelpod. Cool?
Cool.
Tim, what's that thing I say? Let wrestling put a smile on your face. Let's do it. Have a great week. We'll see you for next week's show.